We're all making more Zoom and Skype calls at the moment. There's just one issue. Most laptops have got terrible webcams. The MacBook Pro 16-inch, which I reviewed recently, is a perfect example of that. You know, a £3,500 laptop with a rubbish webcam. So what do? Well, you could buy a £20 or $30-ish OneView 1080p webcam. Now, I've done that, and I think I can save you a bit of money. Let me explain why. Welcome back to Ellis Reviews. Just remember to subscribe so you'd never miss an episode. Right, I do lots of video calling these days. You probably do a fair amount yourself. And the £3,500 MacBook Pro that I bought has a terrible webcam, which is annoying. This video isn't about that. We all know that is the case. If you don't, go and buy one and be disappointed. Now, you can get away with modern laptop webcams, but they just make you look a bit dreary. They don't cope well with bad light, and they're just grainy and horrible, basically. So I thought, how much have you got to spend to get a decent replacement? So I found this, the OneView 1080p webcam. Now, this was in the UK at about £20 delivered on Amazon. I think in the US it goes up to about $30, between, again, $20 or $30. It's cheap. However, it's £20 or $20, $30 that you could spend on all sorts of things. So should you put that money down on this? Well, I've bought it, and let me explain. So first of all, I was going to do an unboxing video for this. That was fairly pointless, as it turns out, because it just comes in a little brown box and that's it, basically. But it's cheap, so you kind of expect that. It also comes with a ridiculously long USB cable. I don't know where they're expecting you to plug this into, but that's not going to be an issue. It's not badly made, actually. It's pretty solid. It uses this kind of clasp thing, which you put on top of your monitor or your laptop. And yeah, it's all right. It's not bad at all. It feels like you could throw it around, it would be all right. So build quality wise, I'm actually quite impressed. It's made out of plastic, obviously. The hinge, I would guess after a while, will probably give in. But it's not bad for the money, actually. So build quality, pretty good. Now, attaching it to the laptop, I use a laptop. I do have an iMac, but I'm not using it at the moment, and the MacBook is my primary device. The problem I found that was when you attach it to the laptop, you do lose sight of top of the screen. Now, I guess most webcams of this kind, with this kind of design, this little clamp, are going to have that issue. They're going to obscure part of the screen. It just felt a bit too much, really. I couldn't see the top bar of the menu. It also didn't feel particularly secure on the laptop. Again, I didn't test it with a monitor. It will probably fare a little bit better on a monitor, but don't expect it to be rock solid, particularly if you're using it on a laptop. But obviously you want to know what the video's like, that's what matters. So I did a video and audio test. It has a built-in mic as well. So let's scoot over to that, and I thought I'd just compare it against the MacBook Pro. Here it is. So this is recording directly to the webcam and using the built-in mic as well. As I record now, I've not heard a recording yet. Could be dreadful, who knows? And now we're back to the MacBook. So this is the built-in MacBook Pro 16-inch. It's the laptop I spent £3,500 on. It's the built-in webcam, and it's the mic as well. Now again, as I'm doing this, I've not heard the footage back yet. I won't until the edit, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. The MacBook does not cope well with light, bad light rather. I'm going to be honest, I'm really disappointed with this. It did only cost £20, but I just expected a little bit more. I mean, on Amazon, it's got really good reviews, actually. If you look at the list of reviews, it's great. And it can be very, very tempting to just say, get it. It's 20 quid. It's better than your laptop. It's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be better than the MacBook. And the MacBook is, I can't emphasize this enough, the MacBook is absolutely bottom of the rung in terms of webcam quality. It's dreadful. This is worse, I personally think, than the MacBook. You can see in those videos there's dreadful lens distortion. Okay, the lens is tiny. It's not a DSLR camera or anything, but the whole world around you looks like you're in some sort of fishbowl. The thing that surprised me the most, and that disappointed me the most actually, was that it coped dreadfully with light. And you can probably see when I turned with my back to face the window, I was suddenly cast in darkness. And actually that didn't happen with the MacBook. You're always going to have some form of natural light coming in. And the problem with that is that it can occasionally shroud you in darkness. And I think we've all been on these Zoom meetings and team meetings where there's been at least one participant who you just can't see their face. They're just a silhouette. In the great scheme of things, that doesn't matter a huge amount, but it does impact the experience of having a remote meeting, and it might make people feel uncomfortable, who knows. This dealt very badly with that. So that's quite a big thing for me. The other thing to mention is the mic. Now, I did just get this out of the box, plug it in, didn't do any configuration really apart from turn on high quality on the video. There weren't any settings I could find for the audio, and the audio volume in Zoom and in QuickTime, which I used to record those little bits of footage, was all set at a decent level. So why it was peaking so much and distorting, I have absolutely no idea. But that again illustrates that this isn't a great webcam, because you should be able to plug it in and the audio should just be fine. You should hear yourself and not have all that horrible distortion. And again, the MacBook one isn't fantastic, despite being studio quality, but it does the job a lot better. So yeah, that wasn't very, very good at all. Now, while I was putting this video outline together, part of the thing I was going to talk about was whether or not you could use this for podcasting and for recording yourself, a bit like this really. I mean, I'm using a proper camera here, but if you were just wanting to get into YouTube and use something better than your onboard laptop webcam, could you use the OneView 1080 as a camera for vlogging and that kind of stuff? And no, you can't. It's absolutely dreadful. It's not a camera for podcasting or vlogging. Please don't buy it for that reason. There are other options out there, and my advice would be to spend a bit more. Now, I don't have it with me, but I have used it in the past. The Logitech C920 HD Pro isn't cheap. You're talking about 80 UK pounds, but you're getting a very good webcam for that, and it does very, very good high quality 1080p video. That will get you what you want in terms of video quality, and I would say personally you could probably use it for live streaming and a little bit of vlogging and that kind of thing. This isn't a replacement for that, and I appreciate it's a lot less costly, but I don't think that's the point. I think there's a point with tech where things are just too cheap. For me, this falls into that bracket, and it's a surprise. It's a genuine surprise because it's a top-rated Amazon product. All the reviews on there are pretty good. I know you have to be careful with reviews, but on the whole, they look like they're genuine. I just don't think it's very good at all. So basically, save yourself some money. If you can still get by with your laptop webcam while you save up for a better webcam, please do. And I would recommend instead opting for something like the Logitech, which I'll put a link to in the description if you fancy that. So that's it. Just don't bother with the OneView. It's terrible. I've talked quite a bit in this video about the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which is now my main device. Carry on watching for a link to a long-term review of that laptop, where I reveal some very interesting findings for getting the webcam. I think you'll find that interesting. But until next time, take care, and thank you very much for watching.